Welcome back to the Stockwell Eldritch Show every Sunday at 10 a.m. here on AIM 1280 The Patriot. I'm Jason Stockwell with RE/MAX Results.
And I'm Dawn Eldridge with RE/MAX Results.
I've been sharing with you the way that you could buy the new home you want during the parade, whether you're an aging adult, whether you're a young adult, whatever you are, you can buy that home and how to go about planning on buying that home if it's what you want. So go ahead, come out to the parade, check us out at Roseville Garden Station, check out other models, other developments, and there's a lot of them out there, and they're all have a lot of features, and just pick the one. Just find the area and the features that you want and find a way to make it happen in a smart way so that you're not going into a situation where you're financially putting yourself at risk, where you're actually doing it in a smart way. And I see some people do the situation where they take all their money, in a purchase. Let's say you are an aging adult and you take all your equity out of your home. You purchase a home where you take out of your retirement account. You're limiting your options. And Jack knows more about this, and Stephanie as well. But what happens then is if you don't have the your retirement account available, let's say you pull half of your retirement account out, your odds of actually recouping that money, because now they're tied up in real estate, where it's hard to get a loan against that real estate without income coming in. So if you have Social Security coming in or you have something coming in, but it doesn't justify putting a second mortgage on the property, it's very illiquid. So you want to keep it liquid, or as liquid as you can, which retirement account is far more liquid than real estate generally, especially if you're an aging adult or if you're not actively working, producing an income to justify putting on a second mortgage.
And one of the things that you're going to be faced with too, if you try to take money out of your retirement account, is that most retirement accounts are taxable.
Yes.
If they're qualified plans, if you want to take $100,000 out, it could conceivably cost you $150,000 in retirement funds to take out $100,000.
Yep.
So would you weigh that against the cost of maybe using the reverse mortgage product? Yes, you have closing costs. You have closing costs with conventional loans. You have closing costs with reverse mortgage loans. But the way that FHA has structured it now, the cost of doing a reverse mortgage versus a conventional loan, there's not a great deal of difference in the out-of-pocket costs.
Mm-hmm.
No.
And with the reverse mortgage, we can finance the costs in. So there's essentially zero out-of-pocket. Probably pay for the appraisal would be about it.
So there's two. So that's another thing. It's called. So it's just like Jeff Peterson on the 1031 Exchange show we had last week. Investing smarter, so that instead of doing a remodel and flipping the home and paying about 50% of the profit in taxes, invest smarter. Take that money, put it into an exchange, defer the taxes, and exchange up in another product or into another piece of real estate. This would be the same thing. This would be purchasing smarter so that you're not taking money out of retirement where you're going to get hit with taxes and then tie that money up into an illiquid asset. And you're just using the tools that are available, learning about the tools that are available, being educated so you can make the correct decision for you and your situation.
I just want to make one point, too, and I sit down with many aging adult clients, and we talk a little bit about the home, and their concern is that they want to give the children the home, and that's a concern. And the reason is the children honestly don't want the home. They want the proceeds from the sale of the home. And so we discuss a little further as to what other options there are to complete their legacy planning. And if you spend the home, you have not spent the retirement plan, so why not give them the retirement plan, right?
Right. Yeah.
Has the better chance of growing, then it'll exceed, typically, traditionally over history, it will exceed the appreciation on a home. And if you give them the retirement plan, you do it through what's called a beneficial designation process. And if your children don't need the money, skip a generation and give it to the grandchildren. And if they take that out, they take it out over their age, over their lifetime. So now you've taken an asset and extended it out into the future, whereby if you spend the retirement plan first and then as a last resort go into the reverse mortgage product, you're not going to make out as well. right? Because you lose the opportunity cost of that retirement plan continuing to grow, and it provides that legacy that you wanted to provide, as long as you're not hit with, unfortunate health issues and this type of thing that would deplete it faster.
Yeah.
But I think it's a thing to talk to their financial advisor about and say, look, if I spend the house, can I give them the retirement plan? And a lot of times that makes a lot more sense.
So there's lots of things you can do. We want to show you that you can actually buy the new home if you're an aging adult. You can buy the new home that you want to. That's single level living that's more accommodating, more functional, safer, and you'll be happier probably. But here's the other thing that Jack just said that makes sense. None of us know this until we're gone, but when we're gone, we won't know it. So we go to a lot of appointments with the children of someone who's passed, okay? And it's the fantasy, many things, right? Not to say it doesn't happen. There are times when, yes, your son or your daughter or one of your heirs buys and moves into your home that they grew up in. But as Jack said, so many times, in fact, I'd say an overwhelming majority of the times that we go on these appointments, the kids say it too. They said, yes, Mom always wanted me to buy this place or move into this place. I actually want to too, but unfortunately it just isn't going to work. It doesn't work for one reason or another, right? Location doesn't work. The one-car garage doesn't work. The size of the master bedroom doesn't work. The closet space doesn't work. The amount of updates that I'd have to put into this home don't work for me. I'm actually going to be living in this townhome over here, or we bought a house, a brand new construction with our kids. We have 3 kids. It's not going to work, even though they raised 4 of us in this smaller home. That's what we hear. So that's a discussion you could have with your kids too, but also just know that dream that you have of that happening isn't necessarily, as fact of the odds are, it's not going to happen. And many times we have to come in as agents and help your kids. Once you've passed, we help the children say, okay, what can we do to maximize the return on this for you, whether it's fixing it up and putting money into it. And unfortunately, many times that's not even a possibility because of the lack of cash flow or money available to put into it. So what happens is they end up selling it for a discounted wholesale price to someone who is going to fix it up and then resell it or tear it down and build a new house. So you're not even maximizing the value of the real estate at that point either. So you're kind of getting hit by that process or that thought process. And we don't want to be we want to be sensitive to people that do that or want to do that, but it's overwhelmingly not the majority of the
And
I
I think it's just what we've talked about so many times, even with sellers, prepare to sell. There's so many options. Jack, you're available. My Wells Fargo team is available. And that's the most important thing is prepare. Talk about it now. Get the plan. See what you qualify for. Then you can go out and look at the houses because it's an emotional experience. I remember when I bought my new construction townhome, I was just so overwhelmed, so excited. And I'm in the mortgage industry and I'm looking, I want all these upgrades and everything like that. And I'm not even really thinking can I afford them all? So take the time while it's calm, while you're prepared. Look at your options. Look at a reverse mortgage versus buying it with a home equity or just a 3% down program, and then find out what's going to be the best option for you. And then, can I afford this house? Should I buy it? Then you can even talk with your kids, your financial advisors. So when the time comes to sign that purchase contract, because sellers are motivated. Builders are motivated.
Yep.
You don't have 60 or 90 days to think about it. So get prepared. Call Jack, call me, and, get prepared. So when you come out to the parade and you look at the house and this is the one you want, boom, you are ready to go. You know your options, your payment, everything. Can't stress that enough.
And that's, the preparation and planning. So I just want to say thanks again to Stephanie Havel, Wells Fargo, who's always here. She's great. Check her out. Check us out on YouTube. You'll see her there.
Phone number?
And Stephanie, yes.
612-940-7335.
7335. And also to Jack Benke with Spectra Home Mortgage, talking about the reverse mortgage. Thank you guys so much for being here. All the information will be on Facebook. And you can find us on YouTube under the Stockwell Eldridge Show. And come out to the parade and check us out. This is Stockwell Eldridge Show. I'm Jason Stockwell with RE/MAX Results.
And I'm Don Eldridge, RE/MAX Results.